course I go live and then my voice decides to bail out. Of course. That's always fun. Alright. It's WoW Challenges Wednesday. For fuck's sake, voice. Can we get our shit together? Maybe, just maybe. Alright. Let's see if we can do something with that for the time being. So I can at least see my mini map. Okay, so WoW Challenges Wednesday, guys. I hope your week is going okay. Today we'll be working on the Pacifist. We'll try to get a level in on him. Excuse me. And he's 47. So we don't have too many more sessions with him on the stream before he gets moved to Record Town. And we'll still post those because I know nobody got to see Gentle Soul. Excuse me. I know no one got to see Gentle Soul leveled through Shadowlands just because I kind of belted through her real quick. And hey, Zorts, how's it going? And I couldn't play her at a at stream time because it was just too hectic out there. Way too hectic, way too busy. People dragging mobs everywhere. It was crazy. So I'm just like, yeah, no, this is Proxkill Kitty or Proxkill Kitty. Proxkill City. There we go. Can't talk it. Can't talk for shit. Record Town. You hear there's a lovely diner there with a lovely apple pie. Yeah. So, but we still have a couple more levels that we can do on stream on this one. Which should get us enough space between the Demon Hunter and the Shaman for us to bring the Shaman back into the fold. That's the real reason the Shaman and, well, it's part of the reason that the Shaman and the Warrior have taken a short vacation. They are too close to the Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter had hit 40, the Shaman was at 39, and the Warrior was at 37, and I'm like, I can't do this many through Bastion this close together. I can't. I know my limits, and my limit is 2 in Bastion at one time, and even that's a little tight on my sanity just for the length of time it takes me to get through there on these guys lately. I want to be done, but you know, I also don't want to gouge my eyes out. So we had to slow down the leveling schedule on them just a little bit. So sanity demanded it. And I gotta say, it was so nice being done stream prep on Saturday for today. And I was like, oh, hey, we have the rest of the weekend to ourselves. We can go do things. But I have a feeling stream prep is going to greatly increase on the Death Knight, time-wise. I did have to move her I'd started out in my normal beginner location. And I realized I can't drop Death and Decay where I was. And I was like, oh, shit. Mostly because right where my opening area is, it's not really AoE friendly. There's a lot of people dragging mobs left, right, and center through there. And I was just like, oh no. Because I'll be the one with an AoE down, and I can just see people dragging shit into my AoE, whether they're running through mobs in level 60 and don't care, or somebody's like, oh, they'll help me kill it. And I'll just be like, no, son, no. That's a negative. We're not doing that. So, I did move over to the moth area, and I can drop my AoE over there for the most part. I hardly ever see anybody killing stuff over there, and when I do, it's the level 60 leather farmers that are pulling the Larians, and they don't really drag stuff to me. I think only once I saw somebody drag a mob over there, but it didn't get very far, so it's like, well, I can just kind of keep an eye on where people are. Feel a little more comfortable dropping Death and Decay over there. And without Death and Decay, those fights take a while as a blood DK, and I'm just like, oh shit. But level 50 took quite a bit of time. It took almost all day. So we'll see how things progress. I might have to split her into 2 days. Or possibly 3 as time marches on. We'll have to see on that. Oh, allergies and snotty voice drive me crazy. Doesn't help. Damn it. It doesn't help that I haven't been up that long either, so... Could not fall asleep till about 7 this morning, no matter how hard I tried. Everything's trying to bloom here. Everything's confused. We've got flowers popping up out of the ground. It's dropping back into the 30s, and I'm just like, what is happening? Was watching the weather, was worried about the mother-in-law because Russell had told me, oh, they're gonna drive down to the coast and drive along the Gulf and go into Florida and go visit family there. And I'm like, you have family in Florida? And he's like, I guess. So, and
no, I explained it pretty thoroughly.
No, whose family's in Florida?
Again, it's the whole other side of my family. My grandmother's side of the family that I don't really know. Like the ones who are up in New York.
Your grandma?
Yeah, I think it was grandmother's side.
I have family that I don't know. But, of course, they decided to do this. And then there was all, like, the bad, severe weather predicted for that area they were going to drive through. I'm like, of course. And they were in the RV. You can't exactly stay in an RV in a tornado warning. Although, knowing the two of them, I don't know if they would. I don't know what level of self-preservation they have. So, and then I was hearing about, you know, the tornadoes that went through New Orleans last night. That was kind of scary. And we hadn't heard from her in a couple days, and I was like, oh, shit. But she surfaced today, so I guess they're fine. I don't know if they were taking I-10 or what they were doing or what pace they're traveling at. I have no idea. And she was letting Russell know about the change coming to the cell phone plan that they're on, so. And then from Florida, they're going to go up to Niagara Falls on the U.S. side, I believe. Because as far as I know, she doesn't have her passport with her. And, I don't even know if the border's open right now for visitors. It might be. They might have reopened it. I'm not sure. But apparently they've got family on the New York side of Niagara Falls. I don't know. And then I don't know where the fuck they're going after that. I don't think they know where the fuck they're going after that. Bless you. Bless you. Yeah, I kept doing that when I was trying to fall asleep last night. I'd be starting to get sleepy while I was reading. I was like, cool. We're getting sleepy. We can put our book down or our Kindle down, and then I'd sneeze all over the place, and I was like, fuck, now I'm awake again. And then Zuzu must have kept getting hot under the blanket, because when he first went under the blanket, he was behind my legs. And I'm like, oh, you don't normally go there. Okay. And he was there for a while, and then he was on his back, and then he flipped over, and his legs were jabbing me in the back of my legs. And I'm like, thanks, buddy. And then he got out, and then he was laying next to me, behind me, with his head out from underneath the blankets. And then he got up to get a drink, and then he went to go pee on his potty pad, and I'm like listening to see if he's getting into trouble or not. And then he jumped back up on the bed, and then he wanted to be in front of me, and I'm just like, dude, can we just pick a spot, please? Momo jumped on the bed yesterday. That was exciting. Wasn't for long. It was only for like a second or two, and then he hopped right back off. But he did get up there with, it seemed like, a fair amount of ease. He didn't seem to struggle. He just suddenly popped up there, and I was like, oh, buddy. And he's like, oh, fuck, I'm on the bed, and then he hopped off again. So I was like, you're okay. You're allowed to be on the bed. But we had to cut my hair yesterday. Always a tragic day. When my hair starts to get to a certain length, my scrunchies and my hair clip start to give me migraines. And the stupidest part is, it wasn't that much hair that we had to take off. It didn't seem like that much hair compared to how long my hair's been in the past. I don't know. What do you think that was? 3 inches? 4?
I'd say probably like 3 inches or so.
Maybe 3.5, something about there. It wasn't that long in the grand scheme of things. Like, I've had hair down to my waist before. So, to me, that was like nothing getting cut off. And, it was just crazy. But we had to do that last night. Which always takes a while, because Russell likes to go slow so he doesn't fuck it up. And, well, it looked pretty decent this morning after my hair was pretty dry. I didn't see too many stragglers that we missed.
Oh, you're not a complete asshole for fucking up my hair, Russell. Why, thank you.
Oh, sweetie, I don't know how to make pie, and we don't have any apples.
I have a recipe, I just don't have the money for it. You know, the usual.
Is it cheaper to buy a frozen one?
Probably.
But
it's still kind of expensive, so that's not happening either.
Oh. I probably have some dollar coins in the pig. Do people still take those? Like, they're still legal money.
Yeah, they're obligated to take it,
And I have like 1 50-cent piece.
No, we have money. I just don't want to spend it on something frivolous like that right now.
True.
Because we got a ways to go.
Yeah. And our freeloading stepchild is eating us out of house and home, so... That's a trick one. I think there's a dog or something close to that one. Everywhere we go, it's fucking raining. It's raining here. Well, it was misty earlier. It rained for like a full day, 2 days, just about. It's raining in where the fuck are we? The Plaguelands? It's raining in fucking Zuldazar. Everywhere we go, in and out of game, it's raining. Just stop this madness, please. I can't take it anymore. I was gonna have like beef stew cubes in a bourbon sauce today, but I got up too late and I didn't want dinner to only be partially done at 7:30 because then I was still gonna have to do the rest of it, and I was like, fuck. So we're gonna do chicken and bourbon sauce today. It's not real bourbon, they just call it bourbon sauce. I don't know why. Unless there's supposed to be bourbon in it and this recipe omitted it, I don't know. Holy cow, you blend in. Damn, I did not see you sitting there. I'm like, it says you're there. So the leveling sessions on this guy when he gets out to Shadowlands are probably going to be about 2 hours. It depends on if I'm arrested or not. I know I'm usually a stickler for... Stickler. For being on the rested XP. But out there, it doesn't bother me so much because I can turn around and sell the mats. So I'm just like, I just want to get through this. So, we'll probably be working on that in my spare time and as the weather allows. We are entering severe weather season here. So there might be some abrupt changes to the stream schedule with what days our challenger leveling will be taking place. Probably for like the next month and a half. I'm just waiting for shit to spawn back in because I think we got a little ahead of things here. I'm really nervous about this dude spawning in here. He hasn't been here the last 2 times we've been out here. And I'm not sure if that's because somebody already killed him or if they changed his spawn timer. I don't know. You got a severe thunderstorm doodle until 9 tonight. Yeah. The past 2 sessions of severe weather, we were just outside of it. I know that's not going to hold for long. Because it is getting to be that time of year, so, eyes to the sky and weather aware and all that shit. So we gotta be aware. I'll tell you, that shit was scary out of, southern Oklahoma the other night. Monday night? Yeah, Monday night. There's 2 storm chasers that are contracted. Well, there's a couple storm chasers that are contracted through one of the news channels out of Oklahoma City. And they were out storm chasing, and they were live streaming on Facebook, and I happened to be scrolling through in the news channel that I follow from there, because it gives me an idea of what might be heading our way. Had done a blip that they were streaming, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I was kind of watching them for a little bit, and they were trying to chase down a storm, and their cell signal was getting a little weird around the Texas-Oklahoma border. and they'd come back into Oklahoma. I thought they were still in Texas, but it turns out they were in Oklahoma. And it's begun, and you can barely hear over the rain now. Oh, jeez. That's pretty bad. Hi, Zuzu. You gotta talk to Dad. You gotta talk to Dad. Unless I need to pause.
No, I get him.
Hi. Are you a good boy? Okay, bye. And they were kind of sitting there, and they were dicking around talking, and they're like, well, do we want to go for this storm? Do we want to go for that storm? And the wife is like, well, this one's kind of not looking that great. And then they're like, well, this one, because they were getting they're really slow for their radar information to be updating where they were. And I guess cell service isn't that great in that area. And they were about to turn in one direction, and he's like, let me get gas. There's a gas station right here. So he pulled off and went the opposite direction. Went like 15 feet down the road, pulled into a gas station. It was pouring down buckets. You could hardly see your hand in front of your face. He was driving through this, and I'm like, oh my god, that is terrifying. How do you fuckers know what lane you're in? Because the rain was so heavy. I was getting anxiety watching them drive through it, and I was like, oh my god. They pull into the gas station, and he pulls around, and he had started to fill the truck, or he went in to pay for the gas or whatever. And he was gone for a little bit, and she's panning the camera around looking at the storm. The wind was whipping, and he gets back in the truck, and she goes, the wind direction changed. And he's like, really? And he goes, the power went out. He goes, we only got about 9 gallons in the truck. He goes, that's weird. And then they're driving, and they're like, oh, power's out everywhere. And they were up at a traffic light that I think was still working. And, or they weren't sure if it was working. And the wife was like, just go through it. We don't know if it's working or not. But then it might have changed or something. So then they ended up going forward about a minute later after they were sitting at this traffic light. And they drove into a debris field, and they stopped, and they're like, what the fuck? They're like, there's cars in the ditches, and there was shit mangled, and they're like, oh my god. Apparently the tornado was so rain wrapped they couldn't even see it coming. They had no idea it was like that close to them while they were getting gas. Had they not stopped to get gas, they would have been in the middle of it. And they let the news station know that they were getting out of the truck to go see if anybody was hurt, because there were just buildings that were just crumpled. And some dude had come running out, and he had run up to their truck and was asking if they could help him check on a neighbor or somebody that lived close to where his business was. And they ended up like helping a lady get out of her house. They found another guy that they stayed with that had some kind of head injury, and they were talking to a lady that was with the guy with the head injury, and she said she was flung out of their house and like into the trees. I was just like, oh my god. It was wild. And they ended up just staying there for the news, because they had the news had them reporting on a couple of stories. They were interviewing some people, and I was just like, holy shit. That is wild. And then, like, later, once they had a chance to process everything, they were sitting there trying to figure out if they were going to go up to some place called Little City, Oklahoma, that was wasn't that far from them, but it was a little far, because they had 2 hours to kill before the news broadcast. And I'm like, well, we could go up there. We're hearing bad reports coming out of there, that there's a lot of damage. But they weren't sure if they were going to make it back in time. And then he's just sitting there processing. He's like, so this had to have come through while we were getting gas. That's probably why the power went out while we were pumping gas into the truck. And you could just like hear the realization and see the light bulb going off above his head of like, wow, if we had not stopped to get gas, we would have been in the middle of this, because everybody they were talking to said you couldn't see it. You could hear it, but the one dude that they talked to that came over to them that was like, yeah, can you help me check on this lady that lives right over here? She's elderly, she's by herself. He didn't say how much of a warning they had. I'm gonna say maybe it was like a minute, because they were sitting there, and as they were pulling into the gas station, the tornado warning went off on their phones for the area they were in. And he goes, you couldn't see anything. He said you started to hear what sounded like a train whooshing by you, and then like this high-pitched whistly noise. He's like, I ran for the bathroom. Apparently he was working in a dispensary that was right there. The dispensary looked like a crumpled piece of paper. It, like, all the walls were collapsed in. He had to climb out through a hole in a wall to get out of there, and he didn't have a scratch on him, which was amazing. And when they stopped to show, I was like, oh man, that house is fucked up, when they were showing it in their live shot. And then they're like, oh, that's the dispensary that dude worked in. And I'm like, oh god. I was like,
that was the dispensary
yeah,
he worked in.
Yeah, like there was no salvaging that building whatsoever. Everything, all the walls were like crumpled in on each other. It was crazy.
So it turns out apple pie would be cheaper than I thought. So I'm gonna go find out. I looked it up. Now I'm gonna go look.
Like $4.99, $5.99,
something like that, I think. So we're gonna go find out, because I'm fucking desperate. Thanks, Zorts. It's all your fault. All Zorts' fault.
Now I want a snack. I don't eat pie.
Yeah, I know. Well, what do I need to do?
See if they have any Pringles.
Okay, same.
Yeah, they're cheap enough.
Okay.
They're cheap enough. I don't feel bad asking for those. So it was just wild. I was like, wow. But it didn't sound like they had a whole lot of warning. And the weather chasers were like, you know, we really need like a radar center down here, or, you know, cell tower coverage needs to be greater or something. He goes, because we were constantly talking to the weather desk back in Oklahoma City, and they were like down on the Oklahoma-Texas border pretty much, or pretty close to it. They were in southern Oklahoma, and they had to ask them for updates on the storm, because their radar in the truck, just on their laptop or whatever they were using, just wasn't updating because of the cell service. They're like, this was crazy. We had no idea. And these are not, these two are not some fly-by-night amateur storm chasers. They've been trained. They've been doing it for a very long time. And they know what the fuck they're doing. Because these two will be out there in the dark trying to chase shit. So they know what they're doing. So it was crazy. It's just like, wow. And then to hear that tornado that hit New Orleans last night, that was crazy. Like, they were saying it went through part of the 9th Ward down there, and I think they said there was one person dead. I don't know how they died. I don't know if they died from the storm or the aftermath of the storm. Like, I don't know if they got power lined or if it was the storm itself that killed them. And I was just like, wow. And they said there was so much destruction. I think last night the Weather Service was thinking it might have been like an EF3. Pretty substantial for down there. I was just like, holy shit. That is crazy. Just goes to show you, I mean, you can get a tornado just about anywhere. Being in a city, a major city, does not mean that it's not going to happen, or that it can't happen. We're in a mountainous area, and we have them in the area rather frequently. So it's not just a flat plains area. The flat plains area is where you get more of the larger, more destructive ones, but it doesn't mean that it can't happen where you are. Cool, and there's 48. So we're back up to 1,000 life root, and we're at 588 iron. Should probably make some room here for the next round of that. Alright, let's hearth back. But yeah, that was pretty wild to hear about. I didn't even know that they had a tornado warning down there because I hadn't been on Twitter for a while. I was doing something. What was I doing? I know you want me to go to Shadowlands, but I can't use the moss skip until we hit 50. It doesn't let us do it at 48. And I can't kill anything, so, you know, that's a problem. I don't want my mustache cutting through my arm. Thank you. Fix the selfie camera, Blizzard. So yeah, that was pretty wild. And then it just kind of continued on into like the Panhandle. I thought we were going to get a piece of the stuff on Monday night, but it didn't quite happen. They were originally talking about how we were going to have snow mixing with rain tonight. But they took the snow away, which surprised me. Because it's definitely chilly out. It's definitely chilly. And then it's supposed to be, like, it's 41 right now. We're supposed to have lows into the 30s. And then by next Monday, it's supposed to be, like, 76 again. I'm like, can we make up our mind, please? My body is angry about all of these weather temperature changes so rapid fire like this. It's making it a struggle to get through the day some days with my neck and stuff. So please stop. WoW challenges Pacifist down in front. We are a hunter. We are a petless hunter. We are a damageless hunter. Down in front, Dings level 48. So 2 more levels to go before Record Town. We've got a slash plead of 2 days, which is really deceiving. 6 hours, 39 minutes, and 57 seconds. It's deceiving because it's like, oh, slash played 2 hours. This character hasn't existed for 2 hours. That's how much time, that's how many 24-hour periods have happened. It's like 48 hours plus of game time that we've been logged in and leveling. But they've actually existed for quite some time. I feel like they are a... When did we have that Pacifist contest? I could just look on the website. Actually, when did we hit level 10? That'll be a better indicator. Okay, so I think the Pacifist contest was before... Shadowlands launched, maybe? That's saying 7/2/20. So that would put you as a BFA character, I think. Let me check real quick here. Pacifist. Where are you, friend? Where are you? Yeah, BFA. Feels like that was a lifetime ago, but... Alright, so that one's down. Next up is... Yeah, see, these two were just too close to the Demon Hunter. Then these two were actually a little too close for my liking, but, you know, whatever. So the Demon Hunter, or the Death Knight will probably be about 55 when the Druid comes in. Probably. Alright. Oh, let's change the title. Because this is not that. Alright, there we go. There we go. I am freezing. We might have to put the space heater on. I've also been battling nosebleeds too, so that's always fun. It's been so dry, even though it's been raining. The air's just... Ugh. Gross. Why are you being silly? There we go. I got a little bit more work done on the giraffes. I had to redo the sky on the... Oh no, I don't want you on high. Whenever you're on high, you smell like you're burning. Come on, I put you on low. It's just really my arms that are cold. I should go just put on my overshirt, my long sleeve guy, but that would require getting up. I don't feel like getting up right now. Beep beep, friend. Beep beep. Yes, so this outside cat now seems to think they live here. We see them like 17 times in a day, meowing and clawing at our doors. I have no idea if this cat actually belongs to someone, but they were fairly dry, so they had somewhere to go during the rain. The day it was pouring rain, we only saw them once. And now they're like flopping down on my feet outside on the porch, and they're rubbing all over my pants, and they're just sitting there with their little eyes closed in front of me, and I'm like, okay, buddy, you really don't live here. You can't live here, and I'm sorry. I can't let you in. You're making me feel so damn bad. We can't take in another friend right now. If we didn't have any other friends, we would see if they wanted to come inside, because they certainly are clawing at the doors, but I also don't know if this cat actually belongs to somebody and is somebody's outdoor animal. I don't know. They just materialized out of nowhere. We're still not entirely sure if it's a male or a female. It makes meowy noises like it's in heat at times, but at other times when it walks by us, it looks like it has quite a set of clangy orbs on its ass. So I'm not sure. Are you okay?
Yeah, I forgot I went out the other door.
You did? I thought you went out this one.
Nope, I went out the other one. So the door was locked.
I didn't realize it was locked. I'm like sitting here, I'm like, do I need to get up? So, was your mission successful?
Yes.
How much was it?
It was 5 something.
Oh, it's not too bad. Is it frozen or fresh?
It's frozen.
Well, I don't know. I mean, sometimes Harp's Bakery has some things and stuff, although I don't know if you'd be willing to eat it from the Harp's Bakery. Husband's weird about food. Anyhow, I forgot what the fuck we were talking about. He distracted me. Oh, right, the outside cat. So, yeah, he or she is like demanding to be fed like every hour just about, and I'm like, kitty, I can't. You're eating as much as the inside cats, like probably more, because you're the only one eating out here. We think they might have a tapeworm or something, or some kind of worms, which, you know, not unheard of for an outside animal. I mean, they don't look like they're in that rough a shape or anything, but they don't trust us enough for us to try to capture them. Though I did coax them to get up on the seat next to me the other day. And we were just kind of chilling out there. So it looks like Mission Apple Pie was successful. It feels so weird with my hair being short now. Like, it was well over my shoulders, and now it's like just about around the bottom of my ears, kinda. So it feels so weird. I was gonna try to wait till I re-dyed my hair, but I don't know what that's gonna be, because I split my last Twitch payout with the husband, because I hadn't had the money to get him a Christmas present, and I don't get Twitch payouts very often, so I was like, well, you know, when I do get it, I'll get you something for Christmas then. And he wasn't sure what he wanted. He originally was thinking either replacement headphones, because he's got his kind of duct taped back together, or it was gonna be stuff for the 50-gallon tank, crab stuff. But then he decided that he wanted his VPN, because he was using our friend's VPN, and the friend decided to drop that because they were being weird with his hours at work, and he thought that our friend was actually supposed to go back to school in January for winter semester, to get a tack on to his electronics repair degree or something, or his IT repair degree that he had gotten. He was gonna get like he was gonna expand it a little bit, and he somehow didn't see the date on something. What was the deal? Did he not see the date on, was it the financial aid paperwork, or
For what?
Tyler?
Oh, for school?
Yeah.
He just didn't see the date for the application period.
So he grabbed the wrong application,
Yeah,
or he
oh, that's right. He grabbed the one for the year currently, except he had to use the next year's thing, even though he was in this year and applying for this year because of their financial status or some shit.
Okay, so he fucked up the financial paperwork. Yeah. So now he has to he had to redo it or something, and he missed the cutoff for starting. So now he has to wait till I think September for fall semester. So he could have kept the VPN going, but he ended up dropping it because he thought his hours were going to be cut back down to part-time to accommodate school. Because he was working with this one IT company. I don't know, I think they were running cameras or something, and he was working with them, or he was trying to learn with them, and they were being kind of weird. the company had gone through some shit or something, and they were like rebuilding their people, and he's like, you know, they were like, well, you're really overqualified for all of this, and it was weird. He just said things just seemed kind of suspect at times, so he's just like, yeah, I think I'm gonna go back to Walmart and try to get the tag on to the schooling I do have, so that I can do a little bit more. He'd been trying to get into an IT spot at the home office for Walmart, just to get out of the store level, but at least they let him come back, or go back to full-time temporarily, so at least he's still getting his bills paid and shit. The whole situation was a little weird, so since he couldn't use his friend's VPN, that's what he decided he wanted. So that split it, so I was like, okay, I still have some money I can dick around with. I think I had spent $10 at Dollar Tree. And then the fuckery happened with the bank about what went where into what account, because we went to the drive-thru and did it with a person instead of just doing it through the ATM like we usually do, because it involved one of his mom's accounts, and I don't think he had the PIN number for her account or something, because we had to take a check from the one account that the money had been put in to fix the sewer, and we had to get cleaning supplies for the house because we didn't have everything that we needed to really deep clean, and we had to replace like the shower curtain and the mat in the tub and like the rug in the bathroom and like the mat thingy outside of the tub and stuff. It was a whole thing. We had to get rug shampoo and stuff that we didn't have extra money for, so they told us to take it out of there, and then the bank cashed the check and put it back into that account instead of putting it into our checking account. It was a whole kerfluffle, and we went to Dollar Tree. We'd spent about $20 there, and it took our bank account when Russell put the card through. It took the last $5 out of our bank account, and then it's like, oh, well, you still owe $16, and we're like, what? And I was like, Russell, I have no idea how much money is in my account, but there should be enough there to cover that. So we put it on my Twitch money, what remained, and then we went back to the bank and kind of got that sorted, we thought, and then we went to Lowe's, and then no, they put it in my account instead of the main joint bank account. And I'm like, why? Russell goes, well, your account pops up first. Like, we're both on that account, but we saved that account. I've kind of taken it over. That account was when Russell was doing eBay stuff for his uncle, and he was using that to keep the money separate, so we knew what was going where and everything. And then I just got added to the account when Russell stopped doing that for the uncle, and we were going to use it just to keep my stuff separate. So anything involving the Etsy store or Twitch or everything, we were just going to put everything there, just so we could keep track of it better. And somehow that account's first on our list at the bank for some fucking reason. It doesn't even, like, that Russell's debit card doesn't even go to that account, and that's the debit card he gave them. He's like, put it on this account. And then we went to Lowe's to get the rest of the stuff we needed, or to get some more of the stuff that we needed, because we were on the hunt for a specific type of mop and bucket combo that we couldn't find. And then it declined there, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Because we had no idea they'd put it in the wrong account, and he had to go back out to the car. We thought we were going to have to buy a phone charger because his phone was almost dead, and he found out that they put it in the wrong account, so we had to transfer it to the right account. And oh, it was a thing. And in the middle of all of that, I don't think we ended up putting that money back in my account that came out that wasn't supposed to. So... Hey, Red. How's it going? I see you and Zaya are making progress, which is a good thing. So yeah, it was a whole thing. It was a whole damn thing. But by the time we realized that the money didn't end up back in my account that had been used at Dollar Tree, we had already told them to take what remained back. So I didn't really get to spend any of that. And I really need some more yarn colors for something else I want to do. I don't have quite the right colors, and I did replace 2 pieces of gear, so that's gonna have to wait until the next payout, probably in about 6 months. 6 or 7 months, and that's fine. Maybe if the parents give us anything for our anniversary, I can take a little bit of that and get some yarn, because we can't go anywhere. Not while we're in the middle of all of this, and we wouldn't be able to do much anyway. But they might not like us going to the zoo. Although zoo in June is really hot. We've done that before, and like ended up with like heat exhaustion, because of course the days that we went, it decided to be like 105 in the shade. So I always forget to check the weather forecast in Tulsa, because sometimes it's very, very different than where we are. Even though it's only 2 hours away, it's a lot hotter there. And when the feels like temperature's over 100 and you're walking around on blacktop and concrete, it's kind of hot. So busy week with websites working on. Oh good, I will try to update some of my characters when I'm done here, and I'll see if I get the weird error message again for Zaya. And we will see what happens there. And if anything looks funny, I will let him know. So yes, progress is happening. Rudd and Zaya are working on trying to get the trackers back up and running. The MP3s are now available for the podcast. Things have been... You did most of the stuff on the Linux part and the server? Yeah. It's been, Zaya is now on the database. Yeah, it's been quite the mess. It's a lot to dig through, but at least Lita was finally able to get back into FileZilla so that we can get the MP3s back up. And now you two can just focus on trying to get the trackers straightened out. Yeah, Russell tried, and there was some parts of Linux that he just wasn't 100% sure on, so he didn't want to tell her to try X when he wasn't sure if X was gonna work. But he had spent a couple hours trying to help her get through something. I think they had gotten it to one point, and then he kind of hit a wall where he's like, yeah, I don't know. But I was working on the rescue disc and not the original disc.
I don't have a target.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he had tried. He did, but it was all that matters is it appears to be working now, and I think it took me about an hour and a half to get all of the MP3s where they needed to go. It didn't help that I had a migraine that night when Lita, like, messaged me. She's like, hey, we got it working, and I, like, wanted to be so much happier for her and so much more excited, but I had a migraine, and I'm like, okay. She's like, I'm uploading them now, and I'm like, okay. So it took me a little bit to get them all where they needed to go, and then I was paranoid I wasn't putting the right thing in the right spot, so I had to re-edit all of the blogs, because I had to stick the MP3s back into the right blog, and then I was sitting there, she's like, well, I can help you do this if you want, and I'm just like, it's gonna involve playing with the HTML stuff, and I don't want to give you more of a headache, because it's gonna involve figuring out the podcast page code, and I already have templates made up for that page for me, because Stone never really showed me that page. I just kind of figured it out of where things were supposed to be based on what was already there. So I made little templates for me that I played with in a Word doc so that I could try to figure out where the paragraph of code started and stopped. And so I've got like a whole mess of stuff, and I'm just like looking at it and I'm like, yeah, but I have the original thing for what needs to go back in there, so I'll just do it. It's okay. I appreciate the offer, but I think I know more of what's going on there, so I'll just do it. It's all right. But like, I was so paranoid as I was putting them in, because when I have a migraine, sometimes I get a little more dyslexic than normal, so I'm just like, okay, did I put this in the right spot? So like every time I plugged the MP3 in, I'm like hitting play to make sure it was A, the right episode, and B, that it was working. It was crazy. The fix took 10 minutes, but the upgrade of the server to the latest software took about 2 hours, and the only thing that you're really afraid of is if the hard disk breaks, and that happens, we're in deep trouble. Yeah, I don't know, like, can you guys, like, back that up at all? Somewhere? I know Lita has all kinds of backups of everything under the sun. I just don't know if she has backups of that. Oh, hey, we dinged. Because I know that her and I started doing backups of every single blog post we've ever done. That was a huge undertaking. Every single blog post that was on the website, we put in a Google Drive. So, not the entire website, but just the blog posts and the shows and everything. That took me about 2 weeks, 3 weeks. To go through, copy, and paste everything into a Google Doc, Google Drive or whatever, so we have it somewhere else. And then I think she was going to take that stuff and then put it on a portable hard drive or something. Because we did that with all of the art on the articles and stuff, because we kept losing the article art when the websites had to get moved. And it was a pain, because then the art had to try to get re-uploaded, and some of it came back and some of it was just gone, and it took a bit to get sorted. No, we don't want to go to Dartland. Hatherford. You need to close the server. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, no, that's a right pain in the ass. Well, we'll see what happens. The problem is the SQL does with all, like, yeah. Yeah, probably. It's I think some people think it's a lot simpler than it is, and it's really not. It's a whole ass thing. It's a lot to deal with. It really is. There's a lot of shit in there. That's not right. There we go. Wow, challenges. Blood, thirsty, soul, believe, vengeance, demon hunter. Dings, level 42. Slash played is gonna be 2 days, 15 hours, 47 minutes, and 24 seconds. So remember how on the Pacifist I said that that slash played thing is kind of deceiving? It is, because if you remember, the Pacifist said that their slash played was 2 days and blah 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 blah. Well, this one's 2 days and blah blah blah. But this one was made during Shadowlands. Like, Shadowlands had been already going for like a month before I made this one. And the Pacifist was made during the BFA expansion. So you can see that slash played and real time are two totally different numbers. Oh, thank you. Let's see, what are our total kills here today? Total kills as of this moment. Oh good, they've got some rested to work with. I could in theory work on this one tonight. We'll see. See how tired I am and what house chores I have to do later. We finally got our dishes caught up. I was gonna get them caught up on Monday. It doesn't help that I've been sick off and on for a week with a fucking migraine. Probably close to 2 weeks. It just didn't want to quit. So, and then Monday night, well, actually all day Monday, it was thunderstorming off and on, so I couldn't exactly go and do dishes with it lightning. Not a good idea to play in the water. So, we didn't really get much done on Monday. We managed to get that all caught up. Alright, so I did replace 2 pieces of gear. I replaced a weapon and just upgraded a chest piece. Let's do the greens first since I already did those. And I had gotten another chest piece, but it wasn't... It was more of like a sidestep. It wasn't really an upgrade, so I was just like, fuck it. We'll just keep on what we got. So 30 gold on the greens, and we did get 2 trophy antlers. We got 2 charnel ash, and we had gotten at least 1 bushy tail there. There's probably more than that. We had 2 bushy tails. Alright, so that was 214 gold, so that's plus the 30 from the gear, so that's not so bad. Oh, I forgot to do the thing. Shit. hold on, guys. When I'm in two different browsers to do this now, I forget about going into Moobot and changing the timers half the time. Because I've found that when I'm in Chrome and I go to raid somebody else, sometimes it will immediately throw up the loading error. And people are talking to me when I brought the raid in, and I could not hear them, and I could not respond to what the hell they were saying, and it looked like I was just ignoring them. And I'm like, no, Twitch got weird. So I have to raid people. I have to stream in Firefox, so that way I can raid people without the weird load error happening. But yeah, it was a whole weird thing. And we tried to verify my account so I can talk into some people's chats when I raid them, but it wouldn't let me verify. It said the number was wrong, but the husband verified his account. So I think if he fucking verified his account, he may have fucked up my verification. So because we only have the one cell phone, so I don't know what I'm gonna do there. I can't change anything on the affiliate side, I guess. I don't know, something weird had happened. Oh, what is happening? Oh, somebody's pet battling. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the druid. Druid's been plugging along. They're 46. We're trying for 47. She had seven ivory tusks this week, so that was pretty good. No gear replacement. She picked up a dagger. A dagger's not gonna be helpful. I mean, I can use it, I guess, but I don't even know if I can dual wield. Can I dual wield? I feel like I can't. Maybe I can, but I feel like I can't. Weapon skills. Like, I can... It says I can use daggers, but I don't know if we can dual wield. Oh, it looks like we need to go see the riding trainer. Right. Hello, Grandagus. How are you? Hope all is well. So yeah, today we're just gonna look at the 3 of the 5 bloods that we've got left. Warrior will, just by the way things are stacking up, will be the last one to potentially be leveled. We'll see how that goes. I'm really nervous to take them into Shadowlands, like really nervous. Because all they've got is Victory Rush, so... Because I got mad and when the last warrior died, and when I re-rolled it, I made it a troll because I was like, oh, well, the game is trolling me with all my warriors dying. And, I really should have went Draenei to at least get Gift of Naru on them. And I didn't. And I partially regret that. But at the same time, I do get the slight XP increase on killing beasts because they're a troll. So, I don't know. It's kinda, I mean, the faster you level, the less fighting you're gonna do. But at the same time, Gift of Naru does have a 2-minute cooldown. We're just gonna have to make sure we keep a lot of food on her and that we don't misstep. I actually went in the last druid attempt. Was a BFA. We got to 113 before a misstep happened. Thanks to, oh, what the fuck is it? Sunfire? And, I think it's Sunfire. Let me see, that's not what I want. That's not what I want. That's what I want. I think it was Sunfire. It's probably not Sunfire. It's... No, it is Sunfire. Sunfire hits multiple, enemies. So, I pulled more than I had realized and didn't understand why I was taking so much damage. Because I was in balance. And, all I had was, like, 2 dots. And it was getting pretty bad, and I ended up dying before I figured out what the fuck was happening. And that one kind of gutted me, because I'd had that character for a long time. And we were getting closer to hitting 120. But this time I decided to go bear. Just because I had a little bit more hit points to work with. And bear form seemed to be doing okay. A lot of classes I will go healing spec. I didn't on the paladin though, because Holy and I just didn't get along on the paladin. I felt like I couldn't kill anything. I tried a couple of times and like didn't even get to level 10. So I was like, I don't think this is gonna work for me. So this one, I ended up going tank form. This one can still kind of kill at a relatively good pace while in tank form. It's not as slow as some of the other tank specs to kill in. So it's alright. So this is our first bear tank that we've gotten this far for me personally in the challenge. So all is fine as can be expected with the current conditions that we live. Yeah, you guys stay safe over there. It's pretty wild over there at the moment. I'm sure you guys aren't real happy about the current state of things either. Hi, Zuzu. Puppy says hello. Which means the husband must have gone to visit the cat that's in the other room for a little bit. Or he's in the kitchen waiting on the food. I hope he set a timer. Because now I'm not so sure if he did. Oh, jeez. That's not that far. Or it doesn't seem that far. My goodness, that would be unsettling. That would be really unsettling. I don't know if I could handle that. I mean, I would have to, but definitely wouldn't be happy about it. Oh my goodness. Zuzu buddy, it's really hard to play one-handed. I've done it, but he's demanding pets and things. You guys can't see him, but he's like nudging the bottom of my chair and like trying to jump up in my lap. Buds, we don't have the live camera up today, so they can't see you. See, there's Dad's.
No, I just took you and you didn't do nothing. You were too busy trying to wander. No.
Dad's didn't go far. You set a timer on that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I just checked on it.
I thought you had disappeared, so I wasn't sure if you were paying attention.
Nope, I've got the timer. Well, it's in the other room right now, but maybe I'll get the timer in a second.
Okay.
Hi, Momo. How you doing, buddy? Hi. I'm going to do that.
But, yeah, no, I actually started out as tank brewmaster on the monk that we just got to 60. Because at the time, brewmaster was doing pretty good. And I felt pretty good on it. And then there was a patch. And suddenly it wasn't doing so good. And I was getting really nervous with how much damage Stagger was throwing in. Stagger didn't feel quite so staggered, and it started to really hurt, so I was like, oh, we're playing with fire now, so let's just go back to Mistweaver. And I think I had switched back to Mistweaver during I guess, shall we say, the BFA expansion when I was in Feralis, so the old level 40-ish area. So you tried Protection, Paladin, the ultimate, Escape with the Bubble Heart. Paladin, I tried to go Protection on my Pally. However, for Bloodthirsty, it was way too slow for me. I had been running in Retribution. Sorry, I'm like, Restriction? Something with an R. What the hell is the damn spec with the R on the Paladin? It's not Restriction. I'm like, no, Retribution. My brain's been fuzzy for the past couple of days. I'm starting to just get back up to fully functioning. So I had been running in Ret, and I had gotten to 110 in Ret, so I was used to it. I tried to go Protection, and it just felt so damn slow. And a lot of the prot stuff is multi-tag. It's a lot of AoE, it's a lot of the shield that hits the multiple mobs, and trying to not use those spells so that I didn't pull more than I wanted actually really slowed down combat for me compared to the pace that Ret was moving at, and I was actually taking more damage in Prot than I was in Ret because the fight was taking so much longer. So I switched back to Ret and got to 120 in Ret and got to 60 in Ret for Shadowlands. Yeah, my brain pulls up the wrong words half the time. Like, I knew the word, I could see the word, kind of, in a fog, but I'm like, no, that's not the right one. I knew it was something with an R. But, you know, they're DPS spec. But Holy didn't work for me. I usually try to go with the healing classes just to give me a few more options. I didn't go Resto on the Druid here, though. I was thinking about it, but I didn't end up doing it. I was like, well, let's see how Bear works. And Bear's been doing okay. I think Bear's been one of the stronger classes this expansion. You can always kind of tell what your go-to class is of the expansion when all of the farmers switch to that class. And I think for really the past two expansions, it's been Druid. Because I've seen so many people farming in BFA as balanced Druids. in certain areas, and then this expansion I've seen a lot of bear druids out there farming leather in Shadowlands, at least in Bastion. I've seen a couple of demon hunters, or maybe it's just the same demon hunter I keep seeing, and I saw a warlock the one day, but it's mostly bear druids that I'm seeing out there, so it still seems to be the go-to farming class at the moment, because all I'm doing is all I'm doing is falling over people farming for leather half the time, depending on the time of day when I'm out leveling. It's ridiculous because sometimes I can't get a kill in edgewise, and I'm like, will you please go away? I'm like, will you go somewhere else? You have to be in this very spot. You're level 60. You can go the fuck anywhere you want, but you have to be right there. Like, I am not level 60. I don't have the flight plan map. I can't go wherever the fuck I want. Like, why? Besides, I already know that I have a good idea of the mobs where I'm grinding in, so I kind of don't want to change at this point. I mean, we're not that far from the finish line. It would seem silly to tip the apple cart at this point and just do something that we don't normally. It's tough because as much as I hate Bastion right now because I'm so sick of being there, for me it's about the better, or it's about the best option for bloodthirsty leveling at the moment, because it's open. It's open. I can see the mobs. I know where they're at. For the most part. Like, I know what to expect, and like, yeah, you have to watch the water to make sure that you don't step in it to give you that weird ass buff, but it's not like parts of Revendreth where you have to watch where you are because of the debuff, because we can't do the quest to make the debuff go away, or yeah, I think it's a quest or something, even temporarily, and then you've got that as a buff on you, so you can't really do that. Ardenweald just feels so closed in and so tight, and the way the mobs patrol right up on the road in a lot of places, it just, and they're hostile patrols, they're not neutral patrols a lot of the time. It didn't feel good. It felt very scary, especially with how tight in some areas those mobs are out there. I'm missing somebody. Revendreth, Arden. Oh, and Maldraxxus. Maldraxxus is open enough where you might be able to do something there. The only way you're gonna get there on a Bloodthirsty, well, the only way a Bloodthirsty is gonna get anywhere, really, off of Bastion, is by buying that damn scouting map thing. I think it's like 10,000 gold, maybe. And, there's a lot that can go wrong in Maldraxxus with just everything. So, I mean, you have to watch where you're standing sometimes because of what happened to Stir, with him even just being in an inn and getting killed by something that fell from the sky. Like, what the fuck is that? I mean, you're in an inn, you should be protected, but I don't know. Bastion seems to be the lesser of the evils, shall we say, even though I'm just so sick of being there. And I'm like, why am I so sick of being here? But I leveled a normal character through the storyline through there, My main sort of became my alt this expansion. And they're still sitting at like 54, 55. I just haven't been able to bring myself to level them. It's just been so tedious because I went Threads of Fate on her. And I'm like, why did I do this to myself? I hate world questing. Why did I take the world quest option? So I've just been kind of stuck with her. And I don't know, I just haven't had it in me. And then I've gotten the priest to 60, and I've gotten the paladin, the warlock, the hunter, the monk, the mage, the rogue. Like, I'm like, why am I so sick of Bastion? And then I'm like, oh, well, yeah, I've been kind of living in Bastion for the duration. I mean, we've only recently had a break of not having anyone in Bastion, which has been nice, I will say. But, we did have a couple of weeks reprieve with nobody in Shadowlands at all. But like 1 week, 2 weeks. It wasn't long, but it happened. But that is not the case any longer. We've got the Death Knight out there now. Now, Death Knight and Demon Hunter don't get the same kind of celebration that the others do, because they don't start at level 1. So I'm doing them anyway because I want to get all of the classes done. That was the main goal. It wasn't the non-hero classes. We were trying for everybody, so I think Demon Hunter is level 8, and I don't know what Death Knight is. Well, before, they used to start at like 56. So, Leaders just kind of kept rolling with that mentality. That's why they're still on separate lists and stuff. Same with Demon Hunters. Demon Hunters started at what? 98? Something like that. Way back. I mean, their starting areas are still a bitch to get out of. The Demon Hunter one is not fun. It was pretty damn tedious when we went through it. I almost died in one section, and I hope that they've gone back over and fixed the bugs and readjusted the level at which you get spells, because that was pretty bad in that section. Both classes start at the same level, whatever that is. Okay. So I guess they both start at level 8 now, I think. Yeah, I haven't had to redo the Death Knight in Shadowlands times, so I wasn't sure what level they started at now. But we did have to reroll that Demon Hunter that took threads, because after it was said to be allowed for Bloodthirsty, we took it and it flagged us, and then somebody else got flagged with it shortly thereafter, and then it got moved back to the, oh no, we're not going to allow this column. So I wasn't real happy about that, but it is what it is. So I ended up re-rolling while a decision was being figured out. And that was the demon hunter that we saw earlier that was at 41, because I had a demon hunter at 50 coming into Shadowlands. We worked on her a little bit, trying to figure out where we were going to go. But she became a casualty of, I guess, live testing. I don't know. But that kind of sucked. Alright. Let's see here. Close that. Alright, so let's go ahead and hearth. There's 47 on that one. But, yeah, going through the Demon Hunter starting area last January? Was it last January? I think it was last January. It was, you know, shortly after Shadowlands went live. Since you can level almost anywhere now, what's your favorite expansion content to level in? I've actually not been moving my characters. I dropped the Horde people over here, at the Tusk Pools in hang on, I always say this wrong.
In Trolltown.
In Zuldazar. Here by Scale Trader Post. It's been safer over here. And for Alliance, I've been in Tierregard Sound. In near Hatherford. Where's Hatherford? Hatherford's not. Oh, okay, because these are the neutral ones. That's not gonna show on this one. Wherever the fuck Hatherford is on here. It's near Fox Hollow Woods. It's like along that little stretch of road where we just were with the Demon Hunter. I've been finding it better to just go there, because then I don't have to move. And I might stay in like Loch Modan on Alliance till maybe level 10 or so, and then I come out here. The vendor trash is worth more out here, I find. Especially when like you start getting greens and stuff. I don't have that much luck on Auction House on my server set, so I tend to just come out here and just stay put. Cause it's a lot to navigate. Cause I don't do Crommy time on my bloods. It muddies the waters for me. If I did, I might just stay in Loch Modan until 50, or the equivalent of. It's hard to say on the Horde side, because I used to go and hang out in Terrasfall. I always say it wrong. I keep putting in a letter in there that doesn't exist. Where is it here? Terrasfall. I would go there, or I would go to Silver Pine for a little bit, and then maybe Hillsbrad, but I don't know. I just find it easier just to come out here and stay put, because then I don't have to think about, you know, did the levels change? Do I have crummy time on? And I get more from the vendor trash out here compared to, like, Winter Spring. Winter Spring, at times I was maybe getting 50 gold, if that, at a higher level. And out here we can get a pretty good amount of vendor trash. I mean, granted, we're not getting money off the beasts, but you know. So all of your tunes level in BFA and Shadowlands. Yeah, for right now. They might do a little bit in Loch Modan if they're Alliance, but for the most part, they're out here. For small tunes, BFA fishing is a real good moneymaker, but challenge tunes and fishing is a different thing. And yeah, Pacifist maybe can do the fishing. It depends. The fish market fluctuates so hard on my server set. It's ridiculous at times. Because I was doing a lot of fishing when I was leveling my gathering tune. And that was primarily what I was doing for a while. Because the fish prices were so good. And then it took a turn and, like, the fish prices just tanked on my server set. Because there were so many people fishing. And I was just like, okay. And then it got to the point where they were being undercut so far down that it actually ended up being more money to vendor them than it was to sell them on auction house. It was wild for a while. And I kind of backed off fishing. Oh, the gray items? Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, I mean, it's a decent start for that. At least for Pacifist, I would think that would be good. Although you can't get out here till 50, on the Passy anyway. So, but yeah, I mean, fishing can help you get started for a challenger, depending on where you go. You're not gonna get skill ups in Stormwind or Orgrimmar though. They changed it. They did something. They stealth changed fishing in the main cities, and it kind of caught everybody off guard. So, like, if you're fishing in Stormwind, and I can't speak to Orgrimmar because I've never really fished in Orgrimmar, but if you're fishing in Stormwind, you get, like, the main starter fish, and you're not fishing up junk anymore, and you're not getting skill ups. It's just not happening. Like, Fair and I were like, what the fuck is going on? We thought we were going crazy. We had to go out into Elwyn Forest, I think. And then we started getting junk again. And then we ever so slowly started getting a skill up. It was very bizarre. Very bizarre. But it wasn't just on challengers that it was doing that too. It was everybody. Bear Druid dings level. What the hell did we ding? What did I say? 47. So you made multiple thousands of gold, and oh wow. You started fishing right away and be a fight. Nice. But yeah, I mostly just stay out here. It's just easier at this point. I mean, and it's nice when the gear does drop. It's with my RNG, it doesn't happen that often, but sometimes we get some gear drops that we haven't seen before. Oh, loud vehicle. Oh, actually, I thought that was going to be louder than it turned out to be. 2 loud vehicles. Oh, well, it is a little bit later, so I guess that's to be expected. People are heading home. There's like 3 different rush hours that happen around here. Traffic starts to pick up around 4:35 a.m. with people going to work. And then there's like another rush hour like around lunch. And then I'd probably say after 3:30, which I think is around when school lets out, it's just like nonstop traffic till like 10. I'll tell you, there's so much traffic that goes by our house that come like 10, 11 o'clock at night, it usually drops off quite a lot during the week. It gets really eerie out there when it's suddenly so quiet. Alright, let's go to vendor. Our things and stuff.
Knowledge is the best currency.
Alright.
I do take gold and interesting trades.
So, we only had the 1 green this level, so we'll just throw that in with this. Because I can't really use the 1 dagger. I'm better off with the 2-handed staff. Alright, so we ended up with 230 matted pelts, 48 blubber, 15 huge femurs, 2 grindstones, and 9 ivory tusks. This is your big vendor item off of these river beasts. And that was 329 gold from the, just the vendor trash. Well, I mean, we could have tried to sell that dagger, but I've just not had good luck selling greens lately. So I'm just, fuck it, I'll just vendor them. So we can make a lot of money vendoring those greens from Shadowlands. I've tried selling the greens in Shadowlands, and I'm either undercut dramatically, or the price that they're getting put up on my servers are less than the vendor price. I kid you not. I'm like looking at it, how much it would be at the vendor, and it's almost 5 to 10 gold below that on auction house. I'm like, are you people crazy? I mean, I know that you want to undercut, but think about what the fuck you're doing, because now it's not even worth it. So, I've just been vendoring them. We have to switch servers to grab the Demon Hunter. Not the Demon Hunter, the Death Knight, excuse me. We have to get rid of this Demon Hunter. They don't need her for testing any longer, I don't think, so. We did outfit the Death Knight last week. I haven't gotten too many greens this first level out here. I did get a couple. Just buy them and sell them, instant profit. Yeah, I guess. It was just like, people have their little auction house mods, and they're just so worried about undercutting everybody else that they're not really stopping and thinking about what they're doing. And I'm just like, guys, come on. If I start seeing people like undercut each other by a copper, I'll actually go down to the next person that's like undercut by like a silver or a gold, and I'll go buy from them, just because I'm like, you're such a dick to undercut by 1 copper. I'm just like, yeah, okay. The only thing I've ever really had any decent luck with selling has been like the flowers and the ore, and even the ore's a little iffy at times. Well, we picked up a couple of greens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I mean, yeah, like look at the vendor prices on these guys. I think on the last level, or maybe the level before last level, on the monk, we made like almost 400 or 500 gold just vendoring the greens that we had picked up. So yeah, let's close that out. We're not doing questing. And those are quests that won't go away. we can't quest anymore. So, I usually start out over by Aspirant's Rest when I first get out here. And then, like, 53, I usually come over... 52 to 53, I usually come over to, Hero's Rest. And do the loop under... or just off to the side of Hero's Rest. However... this loop that I do over here has the gore mobs in it. I don't know how this one would handle those. I have not tried to see. I've been too scared to. Because all they really have is Death Strike. Or Heart Strike or whatever. Death Strike to heal them. And I'm like, that gore can really take a good chunk out of you. And then there's spots where there's several patrols running through. And I'm just like, yeah, we can't really drop the AoE there. Because if we do, we're going to be in a world of hurt. Because 2 gores on us, that's definitely a death sentence. So it's like, yeah, no. So we came over here to where we leveled the monk. Fragile monk. And the rogue. And no, I think the mage did the gore mobs, actually. But the rogue and the monk were over here. And it's been working out pretty well. We can drop Death and Decay over here without too many worries. And we can rip these guys most of the time out of the rocks that they get stuck in, so... I think one time I had it where it didn't want to be ripped out of its little stuck in rock section, but it's alright. So we've just been kind of hanging out over here. I've not had to wait for them to really respawn, although I've been trying to go a little bit slower. I've been trying to be a little more mindful of our runes that we have up. Just so I'm not like sitting here with nothing to hit. It still happens from time to time. Oh. Another green. Oh, quick, go rescue your pie. Don't let it burn. I mean, Zorst went to all the trouble of talking him into getting that. Although it didn't take that much trouble. The ice cream he got as his snack was a little strange when he opened it when he got home. He said it looked like it had melted and refrozen because there was a section of it that looked funny. I'm like, well, can you take it back? He goes, I don't know. And with his food anxiety, there's no way he's gonna even try to eat that, so. I'm like, are you sure it just wasn't like a weird air bubble and when they were putting the ice cream in the container? He goes, no, this looks funny. And I was like, oh, alright. Well then. I know he cooked that pie, but I swear it smells like pizza. Unless my mom reheated something. My mom might have reheated lasagna for dinner. That might be what I'm smelling. Because we had pizza last night? No. The night before. I had leftover pizza last night. Because my head hurt too much on Monday night. I was kind of in a weird time window where it's like, if I don't eat now, I'm not going to be able to. So. Which is never fun. And then when I did sit down to eat, I just wasn't all that hungry. But tonight we're gonna do bourbon chicken with green beans and rice. I used to make it all the time, and I've tried to go to make it a couple of times, and I was like, shit, I don't have any apple juice, because you have to put apple juice in it. And apple juice isn't something that we always have on hand. So this time we bought a bottle of it when it was on sale, and we had really thick ice cube trays. So it turns out that the ice cube trays that we have, they're just under a quarter cup of liquid, which is exactly what I need for the apple juice. So we measured out quarter cups into this ice tray and froze the apple juice. So that way I don't have to worry about having it on hand for a while. So yeah, Death Knight does level a little bit slower here. Not too bad, but what's her slash played this level? I didn't have that much distracted time this time. So about 5.5 hours, or close to 5.5 hours. So, not terrible yet. We'll see how that goes. I mean, we only needed 194,000 too. It's not like the 800,000 that we needed on level 59 to 60. So I'm sure the leveling time will greatly increase as things go forward here. Sorry, I'm thinking I'm hearing a weird noise. And I can't place the weird noise. It sounded like either an animal drinking out of the water bowl next to me on the floor or mice feet in the ceiling, and I'm not sure which it is. But I feel like I still hear it. And it's kind of distracting. Oh, there is a cat getting a drink next to me. Okay, I didn't see her at first. It's the angle that she was at. That's fine. Any kind of weird, like, dripping, tapping noises, and we're paranoid as shit now, because we're like, what's wrong now? Please don't tell me that there's a problem with the new sewer line. We've got so many repairs to make on this house, it's not even funny. Our next most important task is replacing the subfloor in the bathroom. Because that's a problem. There was water damage, and when they fixed the sewer line, they kind of put a temporary reinforcer in there. But they're like, yeah, you're gonna have to. We're like, yeah, we figured. But that's money we don't have right now. So we just have to hope it holds on. Because I don't know if the entire floor in the bathroom has to get replaced or... Oh, God. Or if it's just a section of it. Oh, I meant to hit that. Which is probably going to involve my parents getting put up in a hotel again when the time comes. Since the potty will be out of commission for at least a day. Or at least I'm assuming that much. Maybe it won't take that long. I don't know. But that's not gonna happen for a while. Oh, look, there's one of those druid tanks. That's not the same one I've been seeing, though. That's a different one. There's a couple. out here. At least they left me the moth, so that's all I can really ask for. But we will see. At least it appears that the property taxes somehow, some way, came down this year. I don't know how, but when the mother-in-law was in town for something, well, they didn't leave me that moth, but they left me those other ones, so that's fine. She had to go to the assessment office and do something, and they told her that the property taxes, they're gonna be like $40-$60 less than last year, and I'm like, no. People were talking about how property taxes were gonna go up. I'm like, that can't be right. And no, it is. I think did the paperwork finally show up, I think Russell put it somewhere. Or his mom gave him the papers directly from the assessor or something. I was really surprised. Especially after we just had work done on the house. I was like, are you sure? But, we'll see what happens. When it comes time to actually pay and make sure that they don't so suddenly decide to jack it back up. I mean, we've been putting money away since November, so we'll definitely have it. Well, us and my parents have been putting the money away, I should say. So I don't know how it magically went down like $60, but it did. It's about time something went down around here, because they keep raising our damn water bill and we can't even drink the tap water. It's fucking crazy. Alright. Let's see. I mean, we could, but we're not gonna. You can always kind of tell when something's a little off with the tap water, because the chlorine smell will get so strong some days. It's either the first treatment day of that cycle or something looked funny in the readings on it. And then like a month or two later, you'll get a notice about, oh yeah, like 7 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago, the water was a little bit elevated, but you were fine, it wouldn't hurt you, but we did this. And I'm like, why are you telling us now? Why didn't you tell us then? And they're like, well, it took that long for the test results to come back. And I'm like, that's unacceptable. That is unacceptable. We never had these kind of problems with the water when we were in South Jersey. Never, never. Uh-oh. Oh, there it is. Okay. Alright, so we've made it to 51, you guys. Let's see. Is this going to be too much? No, that looks alright. I think the only piece of gear that we didn't replace on this character was my cape. Because there just wasn't any capes in Auction House that was considered an upgrade that we could use or something. It was bizarre. Bloodthirsty. My Bloody soul. We are a blood decay. Do you see a theme here? Dings. Oh, that's not how you spell that. There we go. Come on, dyslexic brain. Dings level 51. Nope, nope, nope. Nope. Try again. There we go. One of these times I'll hit the right key. Got a slash plate of 5 days, 1 hour, 50 minutes, and 44 seconds. Total kills to date on the DK. 10,000. 257. I think this one might have been made back in Legion as well. So she's been kicking around for a while. Alright. Now up here I tend to just use the mammoth because it's easier. So 3 gold repair bill, that's not terrible. Alright, so let's do the vendor trash first. Slumber powder is going to be your high ticket item off the moths. And probably your leafy antennas are going to be your next. Probably. Alright, so grays were 207.
Oh, do I have a deal for you?
And take a look at our greens here. And greens was another 350 gold, so not too bad. Hopefully we can keep that momentum up so that we can upgrade our gear again at level 56 or 57. I think it's, well, probably 57. So hopefully we'll have the money to do that then. Although I've found that the level 57 gear is a little more reasonably priced than the level 50. Although, this time through, the prices weren't terrible on the plate. Prices were really bad on leather when we had to outfit the monk to bring them out here. So that was a bit much. Oh, they both yelled at me this time. I'm used to, on the Alliance one, or only one of them yells at you. They both did on the Horde one. Oh dear. Alright, so that's gonna do it for today. Tomorrow we're going to be working on if my brain will function here. Parkitect? Yeah, tomorrow's Thursday. We'll be working on the next campaign for Parkiteki. Wow, really? Nobody I know is streaming right now. Really? Okay. Alright, so who do we want to go visit today? Everybody's always playing Dead by Daylight. Oh, here's a slightly different one. Let's go and see this person. They are named Gala Vibes, and they are playing Uncharted 2. I've never been to their stream before, so I don't know what to expect. So we will see. So yeah, we will be doing Parkitect tomorrow, and then Friday we'll be doing some sort of Planet Zoo. So thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight, and I hope you all have a great day.